Welcome to Z's and Threes.
For three for the win. Yes!
And the ratings are in from NBA playoffs weekend number 1, and they are up big time. The best in 25 years across the opening games. And that is good news for both the league and for Z's and Threes. We are over 6,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So welcome to all of you. Thank you for subscribing. If you aren't yet, what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, share with a friend. Now it's up to the games and the series to deliver. And is that happening? Of course, we're here to break it all down for you. 3 games tonight, 2 teams that go up 2-0. Who were they and how? Also, NBA Players Anonymous survey dropped. It's juicy as always. Who's the most overrated player in the league? Underrated, best coach, worst franchise? I will tell you all. Let's get to it. Group chat game of the night. We go out to Los Angeles, Minnesota Timberwolves, Los Angeles Lakers. After being run out of their own gym in game number 1, how would the Lakers respond? Could the Wolves put it together and potentially take a commanding 2-0 series lead back to the Twin Cities? Well, the Lakers come out with some defense. They hold the Wolves to just 15 points in the first quarter. They score 35 of their own. Of those 35, Luka Doncic scores 14, nearly single-handedly outscoring the opposition. Wolves find their offense in the second. They win the period 28-24, but the Lakers take a 15-point lead to half. 22 of those, 5 rebounds, 5 assists from Luka, 13, 4, and 4 from LeBron. The Lakers shoot 15 percentage points better, 40.5 to 55.6 better than the Wolves. The Wolves went just 2 of 10 from 3. That lead would grow by 1 point to 16 starting the fourth, but Minnesota got it to 9 with 5:37 left, and then once again with 3:09 left, very manageable. But it was a sequence of a Lakers turnover. Anthony Edwards has the ball on a run out. He's swiped by LeBron, who takes it home for the finish that would essentially seal the deal. Well, what did we learn tonight? It was a must-win game for the Lakers. They came out hungry. They defended. They withstood every Wolves push. I had said that LeBron James is going to be able to put that cape on for 2, maybe 3 times across the course of a series. Is he just going to get the help that he needs? Luka Doncic has to be the one to continue to shoulder the majority of the load for this Lakers team, and both did so tonight. Usually comes down to who is the more desperate team. That's what I always go back to. LA was much more desperate tonight. Needed to salvage a home split. I still expect this series to go the distance. Hopefully that's with some good games, because we have now seen 2 games, neither of which have been good. As Minnesota, though, has swung home court, and the series goes back to Minneapolis, St. Paul, 1 apiece. 2 other games tonight, and 2 teams that would both go up 2-0. We start with Bucks Pacers. This one, a little bit of spice interjected to it with the beef between Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton. Then the news came out earlier today. Tyrese Halliburton, in the anonymous player survey that we will get to, was voted by his peers as the most overrated player in the league. We saw Dame in street clothes talking to Halliburton and company in game number 1. But Damian Lillard back in uniform on the court, a chance to back up those words in game number 2, albeit coming back from an extended absence and pretty substantial injury with the blood clot in his calf. How would the game go? Well, the Pacers, they held full control of the game. Biggest lead was 16 until late. Bucks go on an 11-0 run with 4:41 left in regulation. They cut it to 2 with just over 2 minutes remaining, but it was a sequence in which the Pacers answered with back-to-back 3-pointers. Pascal Siakam cashed one from the right wing, and then Andrew Nembhard from the other side, with the shot clock dwindling over Giannis. It gave the Pacers an 8-point lead that was enough to get home with a 2-0 home court protected series lead. So Halliburton earns that dubious distinction as voted most overrated player by his peers, responds with a 21 point, 5 rebound, 12 assist game. Is the Dame Halliburton beef the lamest beef that we have seen in recent memory in the league? What's the spice? What's the dislike? I don't get it. Halliburton said of Siakam post-game, maybe making reference to the article that came out earlier, that, quote, he is the most underrated player in the league. So players talking and aware of this. A double-double from Siakam, team high 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, and that timely 3. My question with this series, does Dame even make a difference? I had said when I had previewed the series that this Pacers have too many options compared to the Bucks. Even if Dame and Giannis both have great games, is it enough to win the game? Dame played 37 minutes tonight, 14 points, 4 of 13 shooting, 7 assists. But the Bucks don't need more offense. The Bucks need defense. And Dame does not impact the game on the defensive end at all. So does having Damian Lillard back help that cause? I don't know. Remains to be seen. It didn't help tonight. They didn't get a win. They go down 2-0. But as they say, the series doesn't start until the home team loses. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers said post-game, quote, I am very confident about this series. Very. Okay. Back in action on Friday. So Pacers up 2-0. Grizzlies Thunder chance to go up 2-0, and it was more the same of game 1. Grizzlies started out slow, could not throw it in the ocean. OKC all about their business. They lead from jump ball to the buzzer. The biggest lead was 23. Thunder get 20 plus from SGA, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren, 27, 24, and 20 respectively. A double-double for Holmgren, had 11 rebounds to go along with his 20 points, 5 blocks as well. Thunder defense, they force 15 turnovers, score 25 points off such. They win the track meet as well. 21 fast break points in a playoff game. I remember the days when you could just track the fast break points when it came to a playoff game, and that would tell you who would win. It wasn't like the three-point shooting, or it was like the three-point shooting is now. The Grizzlies had just 3 fast break points in this game. So Thunder defense continues to lead the way. Question for this one. Can we expect any sort of difference as the series shifts to Memphis? Ja Morant, who was back to playing in his Ja 2s, not the Ja 3s. I gave my opinion on those. What do you think of the Ja 3s? He had 5 of those 15 team turnovers. He did score 23 points on 10 of 25 shooting. Ja had promised better effort, not the same result, but Thunder continuing to look the part of the West best and the best record in the league as they protect their home floor, emphatically go up 2-0 with the series picking back up on Thursday. After we had seen a game from each series, I broke them down from skips to must-see TV, and 2 of which that I put in the top 3. Well, those 2 series delivered with great games on Monday night and look like very compelling series. Let's start with the best series thus far. We haven't seen game 2 of Warriors-Rockets. Clippers-Nuggets. Game 1 goes to overtime. Nuggets win it. Game 2 has 18 lead changes, 12 ties. And Denver made a litany of mistakes down the stretch. Nikola Jokic missed back-to-back free throws. They had turnovers. Aaron Gordon back-heeled a wide-open dunk that went out of bounds. But as much as Denver made those mistakes, it was about vintage Kawhi Leonard. 2-time NBA Finals MVP, once with the Raptors, once with the Spurs. But that is eras ago, it feels like, especially Kawhi's time with the Spurs, but he put together one of his best career playoff games ever. It was the 3rd best, according to Basketball Reference's game score metric, career playoff game for Kawhi Leonard, and he did it with wild efficiency. 15 of 19 from the field, scoring 39 points. It was his highest scoring playoff game since he dropped 45 against the Mavs in the 2021 playoffs. That was a long time ago. Remember, the story with Kawhi has been injuries, but also trying to have him healthy for this time of the year. And can he go throughout an extended playoff run? Well, what we saw Monday night was vintage Kawhi Leonard, reminding everybody why, at his peak, he is such a force to be reckoned with. The caveat to that, across the last 2 seasons, Kawhi Leonard has only played 2 playoff games. He's been riddled by injury. So now, as this series shifts to LA and it enters game 3, that is uncharted waters for Kawhi, going back 4 years because they missed the playoffs in 2022. Kawhi missed the playoffs in 2022. So what does Leonard have in store? And what does this series have in store as we have an overtime game that was 5 points, but it was a late 3 that made it more interesting, and the 3-point win for the Clippers. So 1-1 goes back to LA. That is Thursday night. Pistons-Knicks. I told y'all to not sleep on this one. The Knicks just don't have that extra gear to where they can just hammer teams. They need another player off the bench, in my opinion, but that's going somewhere else. The Pistons, though, this is a team that is built for playoff basketball. And they get their first playoff win since May 26th of 2008. It has been 6,174 days. For you Detroit Pistons basketball fans, wow. How good did Monday night have to feel? Well, you got a chance to do it again on Thursday at home. It was an NBA record 15-game playoff losing streak. Motown is going to be on full tilt, complete 10. You know how Detroit sports fans are come Thursday night. Conversation around this series has devolved, unfortunately, to what else these days? Officiating and free throw shooting. Complaining about complaining. Like, why do we have to do it? Specifically, it's the whistle that Jalen Brunson is getting versus the whistle that Cade Cunningham is getting. And this is Tom Thibodeau, Knicks head coach, that's talking about it. 11 free throws attempted for Brunson in Game 2. Cade Cunningham had 12. Brunson had 10 in Game 1. Cade had 5. Of all the players whose teams have played 2 games in the playoffs thus far, Brunson is second in free throws attempted. Now, mind you, the Thunder have played 2 playoff games. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the leader in free throw attempts across the 2 games played thus far. Cunningham is third with 17, so it's a disparity of 4 free throws across 2 games. But why are we talking about this? Or why is that the talking point at a higher level? It should be that the Pistons are playing a great brand of basketball. That's what it will be here at Z's and Threes, because it is going to be so dope to watch Detroit and the Pistons in that arena come Thursday night against the Knicks with a chance to go up 2-1 as they have stolen home court advantage. Do not miss either of those game 3s as they both play Thursday night in the back-to-back, with the series swapping. There you go. I was putting words together. Swapping locations to Los Angeles for the Clippers and Detroit for the Pistons. Heavy pour leading scorer of the night, presented by Portland Water. Check them out at drinkpdxwater.com. Giannis, our heavy pour leading scorer, poured in 34, but in his team's loss. Dunk of the night, if you want to sponsor it, holler at me. Contact info is below. Reach my over 6,000 subscribers for Dunk of the Night. Anthony Edwards, his gather as he drove the lane scared LeBron off. He wanted none of it. Jackson Hayes, kudos to him. He tried to challenge, but Anthony Edwards caught another body. Ice-T, call him out, get him out to chalk him out, as Anthony Edwards is Dunk of the Night. Performance of the night presented by Contract Year. Play in your contract year. Luka Doncic. I've said he's going to have to be the guy in LA. It's got to be LeBron complimenting Luka. Well, he delivered 31 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists from Luka. Yes, can we still wrap our minds around the fact that he plays for the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs? Doncic. NBA ratings, as mentioned, they are skyrocketing. Opening weekend most watched in 25 years. That is a quarter of a century, maybe before some of you were even watching NBA ball. It was the most watched for ESPN platforms ever and the highest for TNT in 8 years. We'll call it the Z's and threes effect. We've been preaching it all year. Watch the NBA. It's good. It's nice to see and hear that people have tuned in for the playoffs. Now, the playoff series have to deliver. 4.4 million viewers averaged across the games. That is up 17% from last year, a sizable increase. All right, let's talk the player survey. It dropped on The Athletic. There's a paywall, so I'll just give you all the good stuff. I can put the link below if you want to go and subscribe. The Athletic does good work. Who will win the title? Well, the players surveyed that responded, 57.7% picked the Boston Celtics. The league's most overrated player. The top three were Tyrese Halliburton, as mentioned, 14%. Rudy Gobert, 10%. Trae Young at 8.9%. 90 votes were cast. Were they all from Knicks players? I mean, the Trae Young and the Halliburton makes sense. Shout out to the two players, a.k.a. 2.2%, that voted LeBron James the most overrated player in the league. Most underrated player in the league, that went to Cade Cunningham, 8.8%. I don't think we can consider Cade underrated at this point. He's now burst onto the scene. 7.4% voted for Derek White, and I agree wholeheartedly with Derek White. If you watch the Celtics, he is the straw that stirs the whole drink for the Celtics. If they repeat, it will be Derek White that continues to be the steadying force for them. League's best organization per the players, well, that is the Golden State Warriors, 22%. Oklahoma City Thunder with 17%, and the defending champ Boston Celtics with 15%. The worst organization, I asked this question last week and said of it, is the Sacramento Kings organization the worst in the NBA? Well, the Hornets took the cake overwhelmingly, 38%. The Wizards in second at 20%. The Pelicans third with 11%, and then there were the Sacramento Kings with 8%. They do have, in my opinion, the best arena in the league, but I haven't been to all of them yet. Best coach in the league, the players saying the Thunders, Mark Daigneault. Most of y'all may not even know who the Thunder head coach is yet, but I'm sure you're going to get to know the name Mark Daigneault across the course of these playoffs as the players. High regard for Oklahoma City Thunder's leader. Kenny Atkinson and Eric Spoelstra were tied for second. Worst coach goes to the Wizards. Do you know who it is? Brian Keefe, 25%. Mike Budenholzer recently removed from his job, 17%. And then Doc Rivers, who believes in this team and what they can do. Very confident. Well, he took 12% of the worst coach players vote. Player you'd least like to fight. The overwhelming answer and the champion in this category for the fourth time, the Pacers, James Johnson. Enough said. Okay. Second place was Beef Stew, a.k.a. Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons. In regard to the analytics revolution that has taken over basketball, the players said 38% that it is bad for the game. Adam Silver and his idea, aka my idea, of changing the quarter length to 10 minutes. It's something that is done at every other level, the international level, but it's something that the NBA has never done. Well, an emphatic 78% said no. Players think that their minutes are going to dwindle. They don't like that there will be disparity between the stats from previous eras, so they are not in favor of shortening the game length. 55% said the game is too slanted towards offense. 85% want no business with a shorter regular season if that means less money. Remember, less games, less money. So you just need to go with my plan. That is 2 separate seasons, an NBA Cup season and an NBA O'Brien season, in which you will have more games, more money. How? Well, in the Cup season, you play 29 games. That's every team once. Before then, 8 teams go to Vegas. In the O'Brien season, you play every team twice. That is 58 games. So I've added more games across the 2 seasons. Then 16 teams go to the playoffs. We get rid of conferences. We get rid of the play-in, and we play the playoffs. That is more games. It's more money. You can do it. I told you I'd do my NBA awards on Friday's show. We'll stick with that plan. The sixth man of the year was revealed today, and it went to the Boston Celtics' Peyton Pritchard. So this was not the player vote. This was the media vote for sixth man of the year. I have no disagreement. Peyton Pritchard, I think, most bang for your buck contract in the NBA, the overwhelming winner, and deservedly so. What to watch Wednesday night? 3 games. The one I'm looking forward to most, and you should as well, that will be Warriors-Rockets. Dubs sent a message in the opening game, stealing home court, stealing game 1. How do the untested playoff Rockets, they have players that have been to the playoffs, but this group together, how do they respond on their home floor? Magic-Celtics may be interesting as Jason Tatum is doubtful with a bone bruise in his wrist. Does that give Orlando a chance in game 2? Can they swipe one in Boston? Finally, Heat Cavs. Well, you can watch that one if you want. Big shout out to all of you that have subscribed to the channel, that are new to the channel. If you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the like button. Go check out all 3 episodes of the Signature Sneaker Showdown. Remember, playoffs, we're only doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we will see you back here Friday. Enjoy the games. Peace.